think back to when we first connected. How did we help you then, and how are we helping you now?
I met Adam on LinkedIn, and I saw that he was doing event sourcing, and Fran, my co-founder, started getting really interested in it. He thought, man, this looks like a really good methodology that we should look into. And as I researched Adam, I'm like, this guy wrote the book on it. Like, we should talk to this guy. And so we did. And so I told Adam, let's build this together. Let's build the e-commerce module in event sourcing using your methodology with event modeling, and let's just try it. And that was my first exposure to event modeling and event sourcing, and it was just a wild success.
How did event modeling and event-driven design impact around cadence and just the project overall?
It just created a really clear picture of what the system was going to do, and it allowed us to iterate a lot faster, because ultimately, you guys at that point, we had a limited budget. We completed the whole project in about 12 months with one of your team members. I think that it improved our confidence in the ability to actually execute, and it improved our cadence because we were able to systematically keep moving the project forward because we knew the scope. It really makes you think about what data is needed here, how the user is going to interface with that, and you have to answer really hard questions in that design phase that ultimately would surface later and require rework. But I can definitely appreciate spending the time to plan first so that we don't have rework later.
So what makes our approach unique, and how did you find it worked for you? Specifically, how did it help your team, and what's their feedback?
So it's our first experience with event modeling. And I think it's just really, really good. You guys are really good at what you do. And we had a comment from one of our other engineers, like, man, I wish we could design and develop like Adaptech. They don't worry about their stack or their tooling. They just build, they just ship code. And it's like, yeah, that's ultimately what every development team wants. So.
What benefits has event-driven development given you and your team?
It eliminates the possibility almost of poor performance in the future because of the way you design the read models for specific screens. It's basically future-proof. So that's what I think the benefits are. In any software project, you kind of get to a place where like, oh, this isn't performing anymore, we need to redo this or whatever. I think that I'm confident building this way because I feel it's a lot more future-proof. We think that you're doing a great job, so we're going to keep learning from you.
If you can think about things that we unlocked that previously has been difficult or hard to achieve, is there something specific around that?
It comes back to like delivering work in a predictable way, where before we started working with Adaptech, it was you would always run into expanded scope in almost every project. So okay, this is the feature we need to do. Here's what we think needs to change. Let's start working on it. And inevitably the developer's like, oh, there's more to this than we thought. We need to do this, and this. And that was really because we didn't map it out. We didn't event model it out. We didn't know what all was involved. And that's where I think the difference is. Once you've done the event model, there's really no surprises.
How have you used event modeling, and would you recommend it to others?
Yes, we use it all the time now, and I do recommend it. In event modeling, the best thing you can do is say nothing is understood and just event model everything out. It's not that much work. Get it done. And then everybody is on the same page, and it's extremely clear about what the requirements are, what events are going to be happening in the system, and then what UI needs to be created to support it.
If you can think on a particularly hard problem that our approach helped you and your team get through, and what were the benefits that you saw when you were on the other side of it?
It's hashing out really complex business processes. I think that's the key. I mean, I was on an event modeling session just before this call, and we spent 15 minutes hashing out this one business process because it's so complicated. It's actually a dynamic process, meaning if it's done this way, then we do this. If it's done another way, it's done differently. And what was so fascinating is at the end, the solution was so simple. It's like, oh, if we just add this field on this read model, then we're good to go. But you would have never identified that if you didn't do the event modeling.
How does it help you understand more about your business's unique value proposition? Did it unlock anything in that way?
We are cash flow positive, so we're basically reinvesting profits back into the business. So for us to be able to identify a feature that we think, okay, this could be a paid feature, we could get our customers to, pay X amount for it. We can then translate that into an event model. We could do an event model and say, okay, there's this many slices on this event model. It's going to cost X. Is this a good value proposition? Spend the time to do the event model, understand what the feature will require, and then be able to determine if it's a good investment or not.
How has event modeling helped you identify, define, and unlock special projects?
Be willing to dream, because before you're like, that's just too expensive or like too hard to do. Let's not do that. And now it's like, hey, anything's possible. Like if our customers need it and if it'll make sense financially, then let's plan it and see it and add it to our product. We've talked to so many of our customers and we kind of understand like this is the best way to do it. And it kind of helps us build like the best product for our customers. And it just works. And a lot of our customers actually switch to us because of that aspect. They feel like we're a guide and we guide them into running their business the best way.
Is there anything you'd like to highlight specifically around your team and how you work? Are you looking to add to your team?
We've just had a great experience working with AdaptTech and being able to really scale our development needs based on the needs of the company and the feature ideas that we're going to pursue. So at this point, we're not necessarily looking to hire somebody, but at the same time, love to talk to you if you're interested. So,
any closing thoughts or parting thoughts that you would like to share?
We definitely enjoy working with your team. At this point, when we first started, I was very hesitant to use third-party developers. When we started, me and my co-founder Fran started the company together, and I kind of made it a point to not hire like a dev agency. I said, we need people in-house. We need to make sure we can kind of control the code and make sure that we know what's going on. And so it was kind of a reach to start working with you guys. But now we're like, we don't know what we would do without AdaptTech. So we're very, very happy with the working relationship that we have. And so I'm excited because we do have a lot of feature ideas and we've got a lot of things that we feel like the market needs. So we're excited to just keep growing with you guys.